Hello and welcome to episode number 45 of Girlstreamers. Girlstreamers is a podcast bringing you the girl streamers that you know and love. Girlstreamers is a community that supports and promotes girls that stream. We are a bi-weekly podcast and we'll be introducing you to some amazing girl gamers and allow you, the viewer, to get to know some of your favorite streamers. My name is Nymphadora and I will be your host during this interview, and tonight we will be interviewing Miss SilkyC. If there is time at the end, we will take questions from the audience in the channel. This is a live podcast, but we will also be available for download on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and YouTube. What's up, Silky? How you doing, hot mama?
Well, hello. Hi. I'm good. How are you?
How's your week been?
Really? You're gonna ask me how my week is? It's been nuts. I've been busy. My kids are now doing karate. My daughter's in competitive dance. I try to work out. I try to have a house clean. You know, adulting.
That sounds more like crap supermom does.
Well, you know, I do what I gotta do.
My adulting consists of sleeping.
Well, I'm a little jealous.
No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know what that is.
My week
I know.
My week's been pretty busy myself, actually.
Yeah, it has. I know.
But yay, sexist filmmakers. Apparently they don't know anything about Harvey Weinstein. Right?
Just trying to breathe. About that story.
So today is going to be yoga as we, we're going to be practicing our yoga routine, our yoga breathing as we do our interview.
A little namaste.
Namaste.
You know, namaste away from you. That's what I used to do. Right?
Namaste away from you. Oh my god. Oh my god. Alright. So, I'm so glad that I finally got you on the podcast. I don't know why it's taking 2 years.
Alright, you know what?
2 years! 2 years! And you're one of the OG Girlstreamers.
Yeah, oh, there it is. I've been waiting for this. I know. I know. I know. You can thank Chris for this. Because she won't leave me alone. And then I saw her at the Twitch meetup in November, and she was like, you need to do this. And I'm just like,
I mean,
fine.
I've been asking you for 2 years, so...
Only. I mean, I know.
Jeez. Alright, so... How did you come up with your screen name?
Actually, I've had it for a while, so to date myself, or age myself, back in like the ICQ, MSN Messenger days, I needed a screen name, and my girlfriend, I was talking to her, I'm like, I need a name. I don't know what to call myself. And she's like, well, about SilkyC? I'm like, why? And she's like, your skin is so soft and silky. I'm like, oh, okay. And it kind of stuck. I haven't got rid of it since. So that's been like, what, 20 plus years I've had this little nickname. So, yeah.
Well, I mean,
I was like,
not wrong. Your skin does look very silky smooth.
Thank you.
Says the girl whose face like slowly gets redder and redder as the podcast goes because of the lights. Yeah, you should see me after recording the Cosmic Bulletin. Even though I put makeup on to not wash myself so that I don't look so washed out, my face still slowly gets redder and redder. But I don't know. White people problems.
You said it, not me, so hey.
Hey, look, I'm a pasty white woman, okay? So, where are you from?
I am a born and raised Canadian.
Oh, snap.
Born, in Ontario, Canada. I'm 2 hours from Toronto, for those who have an idea of where Ontario and Toronto is. So, yeah.
Nice.
I've been here most of my life. I left for almost 10 years to go to school in another city called Windsor. And then I came back because apparently Windsor had nothing for me. So,
nice.
But, the city I went to school with was a heavily auto industry, and then the auto industry kind of crashed and burned.
Oh
So
shit.
yeah, Windsor is border city of Detroit. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So they had a huge, I think it was a Ford plant they had there, a huge, and they shut the whole thing just shut down when the three big car industries
Yeah.
crashed and burned there many moons ago.
So
So
wait, then do you have a lot of knowledge in the auto industry then?
I should, but I don't.
Oh, okay. So you didn't go to school for that. You just happened to
No, no,
move
no,
to
no,
a
no, 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 no. I
city.
just no. I chose. I honestly, I just wanted to leave home. That's why I left.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah, I needed. I felt like if I stayed home, I wouldn't like grow as a person. So I don't know. Apparently, I was a really intellectual teen. So I was like, or I just hated my parents. One or the other. I can't remember.
I wanted to get away
So,
from my parents. That's why I went away to school.
so I left. But leaving, right? Honestly, most people do.
Let's
So when I
let's be
left,
real here.
let's be real. Let's be real. But yeah, so when I left, I went to Windsor and I had a great time or whatever. But it definitely helped me become closer with my parents. I'm so close to them now, and I'm so thankful that I left. And I was like, things like went wrong some days, or like one day I had like a bottle of water by my keyboard and it spilled, and I just threw my keyboard. And my dad drove down like the same day with a brand new keyboard for me. Like this little things. I'm like, you know what? My parents are
Oh.
awesome. Yeah. So it's kind of like one of those like moments where I was just like, okay, yeah, I like my parents again.
Look, my mom drove all the way to my college when I had my first hangover to bring me Pepto Bismol.
Oh, that's so sweet. How far of a drive?
It was only like an hour and a half. I mean, it wasn't
Okay,
that
mine's
far.
mine's spoke too. So, but still, super sweet. We
That's
have
still
cool parents.
that's really sweet.
Yeah.
No, I
Oh
mean,
yeah, yeah,
I have
yeah.
a complicated situation with my
Yes,
mom.
you do. Yep. You do. Mental
But
note.
it was still really, I mean, what's funny is my mom, I was terrified that my mom would like be angry at my first hangover because I was 18. Ooh, right? And she was laughing her ass off. Her and my dad were laughing their asses off. They're like, ha
Like,
ha!
it's like
You
serves
got
her
a
right.
hangover.
Oh, that's awesome.
So what's the first game that you played that got you into the gaming world?
Oh, dating myself again. The first game I played that I remember was on my parents' old school like Atari computer. It was Paperboy, and I was obsessed with this game. This game was the most frustrating game on the planet. The whole point was to get papers and hit people and get them in the mailboxes. And it was amazing.
I
So
remember
that
that
was
game.
right.
I loved that stupid game.
It was so good.
That game was so good because you had to avoid the damn dogs
Yeah.
and stuff.
Oh, the dog. The
Yes.
dog. Yes, the dog. Yeah. Man, that was a good game.
I remember that. I love that game. I love
Yeah,
it.
so that
You're
was
the first person who actually mentioned Paperboy in 2 years
I
of this
know.
podcast. Oh my god, I love Paperboy. Oh my god, that brings back so many memories.
Right? I loved
Such
it. That was
a
my
good
first like
game.
that was like my first like game I ever played. And then like my parents bought me my first console, which was Super Nintendo, and it was just downhill from there. So
Nice.
game
So,
over. Yeah.
how long have you actually been streaming?
2 years and some months. I started in January, so whatever 2 years and whatever months it is. So
Okay, so
it was in January I started.
So then you joined Girlstreamers like right after you started
Like
streaming then.
pretty much, yeah. I had started streaming. It hasn't even been like I must have been a couple of weeks, if that. And I got a message. Someone slid into my DMs. I can't remember if it was Dead or King. I think it was Dead. And
It
so
was
you know,
most likely Dead because she likes
Yeah, I
to slide
think
into
so.
people's DMs and make you think
Yeah.
that she's a porn group, but she's not.
yeah, she does. But yeah, so she said, you know,
That's
I
what
have
I
this
thought.
Girlstreamers group, up and coming thing, you know, come check us out. I'm like, okay. And I was like, oh, cool. And I haven't left. So obviously it's a good thing.
Yeah, because you and I were part of the same group. We both
Mhm.
joined at the same time because I remember
Yeah.
because it was you, me, Kinky, and a few others. Yeah, I remember that because it was all Twitter groups. Thank God for Discord. By the way,
Ah.
for those of you who
Oh,
don't
God.
know, Discord, we are now partnered with Discord finally. We have a very active Discord, and we are super excited that we are finally partnered with Discord.
Yay! Super exciting.
Yes, because like that's how we contact everybody. It's the best way to get all the information too. Like it's the way
Although
Discord,
I suck at Discord.
Yeah, you do. I have to tweet you when I try to slide into your DMs so that you'll go check
totally
your
do.
DMs. I'm like, hey, Silky, I slid into your DMs today. Don't forget.
I'm sorry.
Or to contact you on Instagram. Hey, this is a great photo of your kid. Will you check your DMs?
That is accurate. Yeah. God damn it.
So what actually got you into streaming?
Actually, it was my husband.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Funny story though. Let me just back up a little bit.
Okay.
So
I like stories.
I know. So it was before I even was really aware of Twitch or whatever. I come home and he'd be home with the kids already, and he'd be watching streamers. And me being me, I was like, why are you watching other gamers play video games? Why can't you just play them yourself? This makes no sense to me. I'm like, I don't get it. But then I was upstairs watching the Packers play. And I was just like, huh, okay. Because he's not a big sports guy. Like, he watches UFC and, that's about it.
Yeah.
Or I'm the one that watches, football and basketball and whatever. So I was like, okay, so, me watching sports is like him watching gamers. That totally makes – and it just, a light bulb. It totally made sense to me. So then I was like, you know what?
That's the best analogy to use for that, too.
Yeah,
when people
right?
ask. It really is.
Yeah, so I was like, you know what? Okay. Let me get into this Twitch thing. So then after that, I started streaming, but I was just super self-conscious. I didn't want to talk on stream. I had no camera, nothing. I didn't do anything. I played the game, and then whenever someone typed, I would literally respond by typing. I was like, I don't want to.
I remember that.
Yeah, you were there for that. You were there for that. And then my husband's like, why don't you use the mic? I'm like, ew, no. I hate my voice. I don't want to do that. I'm like, you know what? It will probably make more sense. It'll be easier because I'm playing a game. I'll have to stop and type. Mm-hmm. So I started, doing the whole voice thing, whatever. And then he's like, you show the camera. I'm just like, what? No. I'm not going on camera. That's just stupid. Who wants to see my mug? No way.
Oh my God. How long did me and Kiki ask you? I think Carice was in that too. We were all like, you need a camera. We want to see your pretty face.
Oh my gosh. I swear. I'm just and then so I started watching more streamers, and I started getting some ideas of what I want my stream to be like and my content. So I was like, okay, let's try the camera thing, and the rest is history.
I love it. I remember when you got your first camera, I was like, oh my God!
You guys lost your marbles. It was the best feeling ever. The best.
I was so excited.
You guys kill me.
So excited. Oh man. By the way,
yeah.
I know I've told you this every time I see you, but I love your new background and how you have what is that? Just one of those Japanese folds?
Yeah.
I love it so much. It looks so good.
Thank you. Thanks.
So,
yeah, we had bought this. We had bought this when we moved into our house and never used it. I'm like, we were looking for stuff for the house. I'm like, oh, this is so cool. We can put this up somewhere, blah, blah, blah. And then just stuck in the corner. So I was like, let me put this thing to use. And yeah, because I finally got my computer upgraded. So hence me now being on my computer streaming PC games.
Yeah.
So I was like, let me put this thing to use. So yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. So what is the most embarrassing thing? So these next two questions can kind of be the same answer or different answers. So what is the most embarrassing thing to happen to you on stream or the most memorable moment that has happened? Those could obviously be the same thing or not be the same thing.
I haven't really had anything too embarrassing yet. I mean, I almost lost this thing a couple times by backing up and freaking out over a game or something happening. I'm like, oh my God, my screen! And then I'm like, I hope I didn't wreck it. That's the last thing to just wreck my actual screen. So that's happened a couple times.
I'd love
aside
to
from
see
that
thing just tip over slowly, on top of
around my head.
Yeah.
During a horror game or something, that'd be great.
Oh.
No,
just have it slowly land on top of you and scare the shit out of you.
I just lose my mind.
That would be the best clip ever.
I think so. Yeah, so that's probably in terms of embarrassing. Nothing much has really happened quite yet. And then most memorable, I had someone, I think it was Maple Media. Came with a raid of like 30 plus people. I was like, that's just the best day ever. It's such a good feeling when you get raided, whether it's one person with a raid or with one person or a raid with like 30. It's such a good feeling. Just know that they like went through their people who were alive and said, I'm going to pick you. I'm like, oh,
I love
thanks.
it. And I love the ease of the raiding now. Like,
So much easy.
I'm more inclined to raid even with a very few amount of people, because even my lurkers will at least go over, right?
Yeah.
They'll now be lurking, so that lurk will at least cross over to that channel.
I love it. I think it's great.
Yeah, me too. I love the ease of the raiding now. It just makes it so much easier to actually raid people.
I know when it first started, I trying to remember, I used to always forget to raid. I was like, who am I gonna raid? I'm like, okay, I'll raid this person, and then I forget and log off. I'm like, and I go upstairs, do my thing, I'm like, I forgot to raid somebody. I'm like, dang it, next time.
It's easy when you're like, all right, I'm tired, I'm ready to go, to forget about it.
Yeah, but I'm getting better at remembering, so yeah.
You tend to stream pretty late at night, right? When the
I do. Yeah, yeah. That's the only option right now, when they're in bed. Or they will be like right here, and they won't leave me alone. So
yeah, because I'm unable to make a lot of your streams now because your schedule is just so opposite of mine now.
I know.
So when I do actually get to Kinky's the same way. It's like when she streams, it's bedtime for me. So I'm like, I'm in my freaking bed, watching. I have found myself slowly.
You need to get over my Is
that the hubby trying to scare you?
That's Oni trying to scare me. Yes.
That is hilarious. So for anyone who's listening to this right now, Lord Oni, her husband, which we all know and love over here at Girlstreamers, just tried to scare her by throwing something over her screen.
Yeah, snakes. It's so beautiful. What a bugger. Well, that's why I married him, apparently. God.
I love it.
He's all mine, folks. He's all mine.
So, what type of games do you usually play and stream?
A little bit of everything. I'm more into the RPGs, or even better yet, JRPGs. I go through phases where I go through like a big spurt of like one particular game. Like I play like Paladins for a while, and then I'll play like right now I'm in Final Fantasy 14 mode, which is a problem. Yeah. Or or if a new game comes out, I'll play that, or even like some random indie games I'll play.
A lot of people are doing the Final Fantasy 14 thing right now. It's really
weird. Right? I'm not complaining, like, at all.
And it's not just streamers. Like, I've seen a lot of my followers in Final Fantasy. I'm like, what is up with Final Fantasy 14? Did they release something? Like, why are all these people playing Final Fantasy right now? I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't, yeah, and the fact that I played it years ago, and then Oni and I stopped playing for a while just because, and then we got wind of people that we knew, like Hugsy was playing it, and a couple others. We were like, oh, we should probably get back into this. And so we got back into it, and we made new characters on the same, what's the word I'm looking for? The same server as Hugsy and a few others, and yeah, it was fantastic. So now we play it almost every night.
I think Foxen said that she is also playing Final Fantasy 14.
I'm telling you.
It's so funny. Yeah, you were playing, because Paladins is the free Overwatch, right?
Yes. Yeah. And those kind of games I never play, like first-person shooter of any sort. Nope. Nothing. I don't do it. I suck at them and everything. But for some reason, I really got hooked to Paladins for quite some time.
I know, because every time I hop over, I'm like, why aren't you just playing Overwatch so you can play with me? Like, I don't get it.
Right. I do have Overwatch now, though. I do have it. I just haven't played it yet. Just continue yourself, woman. Continue yourself. Yeah, I haven't. I just haven't really touched it.
PC or PlayStation?
I played the PC.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Yeah, PC. Yes, PC. Yeah, Oni bought it for me, and I logged on I think twice. I'm just like, I'm scared. I can't do this.
No, it's very much like Paladins. Like
Yeah, I know. Which is true.
The
I just have to.
character that I watched you play a lot of, you probably would enjoy Roadhog because it was very similar the
All
way
right.
it played. So you might
Mental
really
note.
dig Roadhog. He's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
So
Nice. Yeah,
so
I should probably get into that.
what is your name? No, I'm just kidding. What is your favorite? What's your favorite color? What is your favorite color? Red, no blue.
No pressure.
I had a little caffeine today, so I'm a little.
A little?
Right now.
Just a little?
I'm not done yet.
That is definitely not a little, and I love it.
It is diet, though. It's a diet Dr.
Don't
Pepper.
make excuses.
So what? Okay, all right. This is kind of a two-part question. I like this question because it's like asking a film person, "What's your favorite movie?" So, what's your favorite game of all times?
That's not possible.
And what's your favorite game right now? Sometimes that's a little bit easier to answer.
Also not possible. Okay. All time. I have to say, only because this game really like solidified me in the world of like gaming, and I became obsessed. Is Final Fantasy VII.
Okay.
My parents bought me.
Such a weeb.
My parents bought me a PS1, and that was the first game they got for me, and I played it, and I haven't looked back. I've been obsessed with Final Fantasy ever since. It's now a problem, as you can tell with Final Fantasy 14. But yeah, that was the game that like solidified me being a gamer. Like I still have them too. Like I have Super Nintendo, N64, GameCube, PS1, 2, 3, 4. Like, as you can tell, I'm a Sony girl. So, like, I've always been a gamer, but it was definitely Final Fantasy VII that was like, okay, this is what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life for sure. At some point in time, I will play a game.
Nice.
So, that is definitely like, yeah, that's the only reason, the main reason why that's like my favorite game. In terms of right now, depends on the day. Like, yeah, 2 months ago, was Doki Doki Literature Club. Like, that game was, like, everything to me. Like, I was obsessed with Doki Doki.
That game was intense.
So, dude, that game was so intense. But I loved it. Again, it's not for everyone, right? But, man, that game just messed with my head. Like, in a good way, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I played it.
The only thing I have with Doki Doki, and I've mentioned, and I've said this before,
I
don't like the build-up process. The build-up process took entirely too long to get to the meat of the subject of what Doki Doki was about. And it's slated as like a 4-hour game, but it's not. It's really not unless you don't read everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's more like it's about a 6-hour game, and 3 hours of the game is you leading up to the rest of the 3 hours. To me, that's too much. That's too much.
I think, no, you know what? I think because I already knew the outcome for the most part, not the whole, I knew a good chunk of the outcome. That's what caught my attention.
Well,
and so I was like, okay, I need to check this out.
A friend of mine who has another podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And they do a lot of, it's just a general gaming podcast, and they do a lot of talking about it. He had played Doki Doki, and he had warned, I was like, okay, so he asked me to come on and actually do some voiceover work for him, and I was Monica.
Okay.
I did the voice of Monica for his for the beginning of his podcast.
Ooh, that Monica.
And it turned out really, really cool the way he edited it. And I was like, okay, so you gotta tell me about this game that I'm helping you like do this special thing for, right?
Right.
And so he told me, because he knows like my history with mental health and stuff. He's like, look, fair warning, I don't recommend you playing it. Da da da. I was like, oh, okay. Well, now that I know what it's about, I can play it. But if I had gone into it completely blind, I would have not done well.
I
would have not done well.
And that's fair. That's totally fair. Absolutely.
So
Yeah, because
if you still haven't played Doki Doki, be warned. If you have sensitive mental things, you know, if you have struggled with depression, struggled with suicide, do not play this game.
Yeah.
Just don't. Unless you're like me, and as long as you have the warning, you're okay.
Yeah.
So I thought it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. Like the artwork, so gorgeous in that game.
Yes. Yeah. Like, I mean, yeah, to the point, like, I played it on a Thursday. I streamed Wednesday, Thursday, so I played it on Thursday, I think. But I didn't play it again until the Wednesday. And, like, the whole, like, weekend was like, Doki, 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 Doki. Just, like, going nuts. It would not, like, I was like, oh my god, I gotta play this game again. So, which to me means, okay, this game is clearly, like, affected my life, so it must be a good game.
Yeah. It's... I like the way... I like that it brings up that conversation.
Yes, absolutely.
But again, like, they put it in your face.
Oh, yeah.
They put it in your face. So,
yeah.
You can't... There's no avoiding the mental issues that are there.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that all of them are not all there. Like,
oh, man. Just... Man, even like I remember every time something weird would happen, I would just get instant goosebumps and this big creepy like this is so cool smile, which is like not right, but it is right, you know, because it's a game. But it's like these situations are serious situations, man. You should be like excited about them, but like this is so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So
aside from that game, I think Final Fantasy 15. I had a good obsession. I don't know. Okay, basically like. Final Fantasy 15, Witcher 3, what else?
Oh, I remember.
Dragon Age,
finish
Inquisition.
Witcher 3, by the way? Because I didn't watch you finish. I didn't watch you
complete
it. You played that for a really long time too.
It was so good.
It was
I played that and because I played all the DLCs too, so it was so pretty. Oh my god, so pretty.
I know. When you were playing that, I was watching it just for. I wasn't even half the time. I wasn't even listening to you because I was so fascinated.
Oh, that's cool.
By
thanks.
how
Cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah, thanks.
by how pretty the game was. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, it was a gorgeous game.
It was such a gorgeous game. Such a gorgeous game.
Yeah, it was really pretty.
Cool. I'm glad you finally finished it.
Yeah, I finished it. I finished all the DLCs, and yeah, it was a great game. I started playing it again. That was like a few months ago. Haven't got back to it yet. Too many games keep coming out. Keep stopping me.
Have you gotten God of War yet?
Oh, it's here. Oh, it's here. Oh, he's playing it.
Oh, okay. Do you plan on playing it at all?
I don't know yet. Probably. It looks good, so I think I might give it a whirl.
It looks really good.
Yeah, it looks really nice. So I think I might have to steal it from him and play it.
So many good games are coming out on the PS4 now that I feel like I really... Like, nothing has said, hey, go buy the new console to me yet until this year.
Ooh.
Like, this year, so many games have come out, and I'm like, okay, I really want a PS4 now. So, but I also really, really want a Switch, so...
Oh, yeah, me too. I hear nothing but good things about the Switch.
My brother got a Switch, and when I was out there helping them move by watching my nephew, that's how I helped them move.
Who's super handsome. He's so cute.
I know, he's adorable. He takes after his aunt. So fucking conceited. Yeah, because I totally had a hand in making that child. I love that kid. He's so adorable. Anyway, I was playing Splatoon with my brother. I was playing Splatoon on the Switch.
Yeah.
That is a stupid fun game.
Is it?
It is such a fun game. Like, I didn't think I would get so sucked into that game. But it is. It is so much fun. So much fun.
Nice.
So, yeah.
I heard it's good. I haven't played it, but I heard it's really good.
If you have a Switch, I recommend getting it because it's actually a ton of fun.
Cool. Now I want to Switch.
I know. The new Mario game, Mario Odyssey, is really good.
Yeah.
Play a good bit of that. Yeah. So
Totally.
I really want to Switch and I really want a PS4 really bad. And I'm not one to replace old consoles until they've completely died.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh yeah, like I
yeah.
still have all my consoles, all of them. They all work, but I still have them all. I refuse. Oh, because when I left for school in Windsor, my dad was going to throw them all out. He was like,
No.
right? He was like, he called one day. He's like, hey, I have a bin full of like your what do you call them? Video game junk. Do you still want? I'm like, yes. Don't throw them out. I will take them. What are you doing?
My
So yeah.
brother sold our N64 because it was a shared console when we were growing up, and he sold it to GameStop after I went off to high school.
Oh, no.
And I mean, back then, I didn't think about it, but now I'm like, oh my god, because it still worked.
Mm-hmm.
It still worked. I was like, why? Why did I let him do that?
Yeah, I have all my systems. I refuse. Yeah, they're not going anywhere. I think once my kids are a little bit bigger, I think they'll get to play N64 for those controllers are too big for their hands.
Yeah, they're too tiny for those right now.
They're too tiny. Yeah.
What? Okay. Would you say you have a main game, or you're just kind of whatever meets?
I kind of bounce from game to game. Yeah, I don't really have a main game where. No, not really. I just play a little bit of everything. I guess I play like AAA games. I play indie games. Like the most recent indie game, well, aside from Doki Doki that I played, that I was obsessed with, was a game called Hidden Folks. Thanks to Kariz because she played it first. And I watched her play it. I'm like, what is this game? It's kind of like a Where's Waldo, but like 10 times better and 10 times more frustrating because it's all black and white, and it's all like hand drawn, and all the characters look very similar. But you have to find a very specific person, like with a tie that has like crosses this way, and there's other guys or whatever in the game that has ties this way or like X's, and it's super annoying, but it's super fun. It was so much fun.
I don't remember watching her play that game.
Oh, you gotta get. Oh, such a good game. Yeah, it was a black and white, going over black and white games. It was so much fun. I was surprised. I was so like enveloped into this game. Like I gotta play it again, like right now, immediately. I'm like, I need a new level. Where's the new level? Like right now. Like
I
now.
found a lot of good games because she is probably one of the biggest indie gamers.
Oh, I know.
Out there.
I've come across so many indie games because of her.
So many
God,
good games
her.
because of her, because of what she
Yeah.
plays. She was playing, one of my favorite indie games is Party Hard. And I found it because she was playing it. I freaking love it. It's such a good game.
For sure.
I actually haven't beat it because the end is really hard and I gave up. So I technically haven't beat the game. I played all the way to the end and I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I can't.
I'm out.
Maybe I can come back.
In like 10 years.
So what games are you excited about that are coming out soon? Or are there any games you're excited about?
Well, I'm still waiting for Final Fantasy VII, the remake. Just saying. Don't know when that's coming out. There've been so many trailers and like gameplay, and I'm just sitting here crying in the corner, wanting a release date. That's all I'm asking for. Is a goddamn release date for this stupid remake of Final Fantasy VII.
It's
make my life complete.
That's about like Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yes, there's another one too. Like I wanna.
Like,
can you just?
Is it ever coming out?
Anything, please. Can't wait. There's another game that I just got wind of it. Well, I've been aware of it for a while. I forget the name of it. It looks, damn it, it looks really good too. So I don't remember, but there's another game that looks good. It's an RPG. I want to play it.
So
that's all I got. I forget the name. It's tip of my tongue, but I can't remember.
All right. Watch, it'll come back to you at the end of the podcast.
I'm like, no, that's like too late.
And then you'll be like, as we're closing out, you'll just scream out the name of the game.
I might have to do that.
So, this next question, I feel like I know the answer because I feel like you just gave it to us. What is one game you would want to have a reboot or remastering of?
Really? You're gonna ask that question? You know very well my answer. I think, think about it long and hard. There's a lot of games that are like really great, and I don't know. Maybe Final Fantasy VII? That'd be kind of nice. Is there any word of maybe they're making one soon? I don't know.
A lot of people have mentioned that game before. I don't really know much about it.
Oh man.
I mean, I've heard people kind of mention it, but
minor details.
So, that franchise is actually one of those that several people that I've interviewed have talked about and have played, but I have actually never played anything from that franchise.
Come on now.
None of the Final Fantasy games. And
I mean, you're not the only one I know who hasn't played any Final Fantasy, but come on, man. There's 15 of them now.
I know. Not because I don't know. Like, I just never. I don't know why. I don't have a legitimate excuse why. It's just
that's like me in Call of Duty. I've never played a Call of Duty before. I don't think.
I've played a Call of Duty before. I mean, they're all the same game, but
yeah,
I've
maybe
played
a demo, but I never really played. So yeah,
it's all the same.
Mm-hmm.
So this is actually one of my favorite questions, and I don't take credit for it. Somebody actually asked it in a Q&A, and I totally stole it because I think it's a great question.
Nice.
I can't tell you who asked it. I apologize because I don't remember, but it's mine now. Is there a game that you would like to play again as if it were the first time?
Top of mind, Final Fantasy 15.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's the most recent one, right? Didn't that come out in 2017?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that was such a good game. It was the first game I actually ever cried. Ever.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was I was very emotionally attached to these characters, this boy band. It was just such a good game. I just loved it, and I actually cried in the game. I'm like, what is happening? What's this wet stuff coming down my eyes? Like, what's happening? Like, oh my god.
The damn onion just got
stupid onions, come on. But yeah, I would 100% play that game over again, for sure. Because it was just, it was so good. So good. Yeah, the first thing that came to mind was that game. Because, I've never been so emotionally attached to a game. That actually made me cry. I was like, well, these people ain't real? Why am I crying? But it was such a good story. I loved it. I just really enjoyed it. A lot.
I love stories that do that.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you kind of expect it with movies because you get really engrossed in movies.
Mm-hmm.
But, books, I don't normally get... I don't normally... I'm reading it. I don't normally get, super... I don't normally get really out loud in a book when I'm reading a book, even though I read tons of books.
Same.
Except for when Dumbledore died.
I
literally screamed.
I remember. Do you remember where you were when that happened? When you read it?
Yeah, I do.
Tell me. I want to know. Where were you?
So I was taking care of my grandma at the time. It was my sophomore year, and I remember pre-ordering it and waiting for it to come into the mail. I remember grabbing it out of the freaking mailbox in its little box that it was in, and I remember the feel of taking it out of the box. That's how much of a Harry Potter nerd I am. Okay, I remember pulling this book out of the box in the mail, and after I'd done homework, I was reading the book in the room, in their extra room that they had that I was staying in. And I stayed up all night long to finish the book.
Wow.
With this shitty overhead light, because they didn't have lamps in the room. It was just that one awful, awful light. Just awful. And I wanted to scream out, I put the book down for a moment, took my pillow and just screamed and was just crying. Into this pillow.
Man. Yeah. I did not see that coming at all.
What about you?
I was on vacation in Barbados with the family. I was at my great uncle's place. I was on the couch laying down, reading the book. And I got to that point and I shut up and I was like, no. I went back, reread it again. I'm like, no. And I kept reading. When you read so fast, you wonder what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So I'm flying through. There's no way. And I'm reading.
Out,
I'm like, he's going to come. He's going to wake up, right? This is not happening.
I had the same reaction.
I'm like, everything's fine, right? This is going to be fine. He's going to wake up. No. And then I got to the end of the book. I'm like, he's gone. I'm like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
I could not. I was floored.
My favorite book was The Order of the Phoenix, which is where my name comes from. And yeah, that one pissed me off so bad. I wanted to finish it because I hated Harry's attitude in that book. Like, I wanted to smack that dude out. God, I wanted to hit him so bad. So I read it like that. I'm like, no, I'm gonna get to the point where he's not a little bitch anymore. Spoiler alert, Harry's still a little bitch, okay?
God. Yeah, that's fairly accurate.
Hashtag Ron forever. Hashtag Weasley is our king.
I love Ron Weasley. He didn't get enough credit.
He did not. Weasley is our king.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alright, I have one more gaming question, and then we're gonna go into the serious stuff.
Ooh.
So what is the oldest game in your backlog that you have not beaten?
Good question.
Okay, alright, I'm breaking my cardinal rule.
Uh-oh.
I liked Neville too, chat. Chat is talking about Neville. Look, Neville is in his own league because that motherfucker got high.
Wait, what happened? I'm like, thank you, puberty.
Like, puberty hit him so good.
Mm-hmm. I never forget when that happened, and everyone like lost their minds. Like, that's Neville. Like, yeah, guy. That's Neville.
What I find absolutely hilarious is the meme that came out of the Pokemon where it's, you know, it compares him to Magikarp and Gyarados. I'm like, yes, that's so accurate.
Yeah.
So accurate. Alright, sorry. So
that's okay.
We have not forgotten Neville. He's in a completely different league. Different league.
Totally. League of his own right there.
Hashtag I know how sexist this sounds. I know. So anyway, what is the oldest game in your backlog that you have not beaten?
Back on track here. There gotta be something. Final Fantasy 12. I didn't finish that one. That's the one I haven't finished. The only one I haven't finished. I was close, and then my console died. So that happened.
Oh, that's
yeah, and I just never looked back. I just never went back to fix. I fixed the console, but I never went back to the game. So, yeah.
I'm in the middle of a podcast, babe. Don't scream.
Hi, hubby. Hey.
Sorry, I just got a work text, and I needed him to confirm that it was okay.
Nope. All good.
And he decided to scream at me. Like, I'm doing a podcast. Oh yeah, that's right. I'm sorry.
It's like, oh God, run away.
So, it's really hard to get serious now after that.
Sorry. How about it?
Yoga breaths.
Find your zen.
Find your zen. Ooh, that's gonna be the podcast title. I love it. So, who inspires you to be the woman that you are today?
Oh, my parents, hands down, no question.
Wow, that was a really fast answer.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah. My parents came from Barbados to Canada. You know, nothing about they grew up poor. You know, my dad's amazing. He, you know, growing up, I saw him, but not often, because he worked like 12-hour shifts 7 days a week to make sure we had what we needed.
Aww.
And then some. And he worked really hard and made sure we were able to go away on trips once a year. Like, I never forget, I must have been 12 or 13, and like he's like, okay, he just bought a brand new SUV for us. We drove down to Florida for like 2 weeks. You know, he's like, so I know, and that was when I realized how hard he really does work for us.
Yeah.
He's not very like physically affectionate, but he like always like reward us with like not gifts, but like trips, and you know, you're doing a good job at school, so here's this, and you know, whatever else, right? So seeing him work hard, yes, amazing memories, like amazing memories. He's so awesome. He's still awesome. He's like my jack of all trades. If I have any problems, I'm talking financial, my car's broke down, I have a leaky faucet, anything. I'm like, Dad, what do I do? Like he's my Google. He's my Google, basically. What I'm trying to get at here. My dad is my Google.
My dad
And
is too, because he's a handyman, and
so is my dad.
God
He's my
love
jack
my
of all
husband,
trades.
but he's a city boy, and he never learned how to actually fix a lot of stuff. I love him.
I'm not gonna call it Onika. I know he's listening, so I'm gonna.
He can unclog a toilet.
Yes.
But that's where it ends.
Oh, okay. Well, okay.
I'm the one who fixes most things. He can replace toilet seats too, so I mean,
nice.
So, no, I'm not giving him enough credit. He can actually do stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, my dad is definitely the one that I feel more comfortable with asking.
Yeah. Like I said, my dad is my jack of all trades. Like I'm just like anything I have a question with, anything, I just ask him.
Yep.
I'm like, my dad, even like today, I didn't just talk to him yet, but I know my brakes need to get changed. Something's wrong with my brakes for my bearings.
Yeah.
So I have to call him and tell him, because I'm like, okay, what parts do I need? Where do I go? Because he always, if he can't fix it himself, he'll look into it to figure out to fix it, or he knows someone who can fix it.
Yeah.
I'm like, how do you know these people? What is happening? How do you know someone to fix literally anything in my house?
That's my dad. That's my dad too. That's so funny. That's so funny. I didn't realize that you were first generation Canadian. I didn't realize your parents were straight from. I knew your heritage was Barbados, but I didn't realize your parents actually are from Barbados. That's really cool.
Yeah, I'm first generation Canadian. Yeah, my dad came here first. My aunt, his older sister, was here, so we lived with her for a while. And then I think he got, I think, I remember correctly, he got his own place, proposed to my mom, brought her here, got married, then had me, and then had my sister. So, yeah. And they've been in London since they got here, so they haven't left the city, so they've both been here. Yeah. And my parents grew up together, too, so. Yeah, they were two parents. Like my mom was in St. John, and my dad was in St. Philip, which are like right next to each other. And they went to church together, and my mom hated my dad growing up for a while, and my aunt had a crush on my uncle. It was just the craziest crazy. But somehow my mom married my dad. I don't know. It all worked out anyway, so.
Yeah. I love it. That's so sweet.
So they went for pretty much ever, really. So, yeah.
Okay. I'm done fawning over the adorableness of your parents.
Right? They're going on, what, 38 years? Yeah.
Nice.
Wait, how old am I? 36? Yeah, 39. Yeah.
I know that's how I calculate my parents, because their anniversary is the month after my birthday.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So they hit a year after, the month after I was born. So that's how I calculate there. I'm like, okay. Well,
yeah, my parents' anniversary is the same year that Oni was born, so that's how I do it. And Oni's 3 years older than me, so I'm just go by that. Yeah.
So what do you like about being a part of Girlstreamers?
You guys are just so awesome. Like, I mean, come on. It's blatantly obvious how great this community is.
So when you say you guys are awesome, you're including yourself in that, right?
Well, duh. Oh my god. No, but yeah, just I've met some amazing people through Girlstreamers. Whether they're like they're gamers or they're artists or they're musicians or they're singers or whatever. The community is so vast and so welcoming. It's just been the best thing ever. And I'm so happy to have been brought into this community from like the get-go, and to still be here and to see how much is like developed and flourished and all the new content that's happening and all the new podcasts. And it's just been amazing, absolutely amazing. And if I ever have any like questions or concerns, there's always someone that has an answer for me, which is amazing. Yeah, so I don't know where I'd be without them. Or you guys, us, you know what I mean, the community.
I mean, you are part of the OG community, so you've been with it since, you like me have been with it since the inception.
Yeah.
And so since the beginning, and you've seen all the changes, you've seen everything that we've gone through, good and bad.
Yeah, the
Like,
nitty gritty, the good, the bad, the ugly. Yeah, man.
I
But
mean,
we,
as somebody who is an OG girl streamer, how do you like uh I'm trying to figure out the best way to, cuz I want to have this conversation, but I want to have it appropriately. There are other communities that do things differently than us.
yeah.
How do you feel about the way we handle things and the way we approach certain situations as a community? Do you feel like you are actually a part of that decision making process? And I mean, yes, we are run by 5 people. We're run by a management team,
Like
and
any
you know,
business.
yeah. So I mean, like big business stuff, we make decisions. But do you feel like you're actually truly a part of the community and the decision making and the exciting things that actually happen, or do you feel like, nah, man, this is not quite? I don't know. Am I
I
making
know
any
what you mean.
sense? Okay.
Yeah, to put it simply, if I didn't feel like I was part of the community, I would have been gone by now.
Okay, fair point.
Right? If I felt if I felt like whether I had suggestions and they weren't taken like seriously or even like looked at whatsoever, and like if I didn't have other people in the community support me in any way, shape, or form, I would have left. But I haven't. So obviously, there's something good about girl streamers, about the community, and those that are in here. And also, as a girl streamer, I feel safe. I feel safe knowing that there are other people out there, other girl streamers that are there to protect me online. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but not
Because there's some
going
dicks out
out
there.
and harassing the bullies as
Right.
the most recent fiasco, right?
Yeah.
Like that. That's kind of what I was trying to get at. Was
Yeah.
how do you feel about what happened with that versus, because we're all trying to change that subject, we're all trying to change that conversation, right? Because we're a part of a female only community ran by females, supporting females. Yes, we actually have dudes in our Discord, but they are developers and they are our subs. That doesn't mean that we exclude dudes. It means that we want this particular space for other females.
Our focus is to make women feel
empower women,
empowered, to feel safe, and to know that if there is a situation where they're uncomfortable, we're there to back them up, to make sure they're okay. If like they had a stream where something really bad happened for whatever reason, next stream we're there to be like, listen, this happened. Okay, when you stream next, we'll be there to make sure things go the way they should. So you feel comfortable, you feel safe, that no one's going to make you feel like you should be online doing what you love to do, right?
Yeah. See, yeah. And I that's what drew me. That's what got me into. That's what's kept me in the community. I mean, I haven't always been one of the main managers. Myself and Misty JM were brought on later, but Carice, Dead, and Kinky have always been management from pretty much the beginning of the community. And I think they did a great job setting up a good, having a good setup, right? And then it's just, evolved, because you have to be able to evolve as things get bigger and as things grow.
Absolutely.
But that, to me, that whole situation with bully hunters, and this is my personal opinion, not Girlstreamer's opinion. I don't think it's okay to actually, because I think it actually is detrimental to what we're trying to do as females in the community, females in the industry. I don't think they did it right. I don't think they. I think it hurts our cause, and I
agree.
What we're trying to do is bring more positivity to the community, right? Like we want to change that communication to a more positive discussion. and not be negative, you know, and yeah. So that's why I'm asking you as an OG who has been there since the beginning and has watched us evolve and create those conversations and help, you know, another question is, do you feel we should be a little bit more aggressive, or are you like, no, I think we're good right here?
I mean, if you get too aggressive, it looks negative on.
Yeah.
So I think what's happening, what you're doing now is great, you know, and you don't want to be too aggressive because then you have that negative aspect put on you, and that's not what Girlstreamers is about. Right? Exactly. That's not what we're about whatsoever. So
exactly. No, I totally agree.
To get too aggressive, that's just gonna make a very sour taste in our mouths, I think.
I think people respond better to, you know, celebrating those good moments and those happy times because that's what sticks with you, right? Like, everybody goes through negative stuff, but if you continue pushing that positive stuff, that's what's gonna stick. That's what's gonna stay, is showcasing that, oh wow, they do actually give a fuck about me.
Yeah.
You know?
That's accurate.
At least that's how I feel.
That's an accurate statement.
So what keeps you then so passionate about like gaming, and not just the Girlstreamer community, but the community as a whole? You know, especially being a person of color streamer who gets a lot more flack than somebody like me.
Yup.
Like me. I mean, I get shit as a fat white girl, but, you know, it ain't nothing compared to what you get.
Yeah. Oh man.
Because that can be disheartening and can totally make you go, yeah, I'm not going to do this anymore. But you've been at it for 2 years now.
I think, again, you know, I have a great community. I have awesome, amazing mods.
Yes, mods are the best.
Mods are the best. shout out to all mods. All of you. You know, there have been times where I'm streaming and something happens and I didn't even catch it because I'm too busy doing something else. And I look back, I'm like, what happened? What did I miss? What's going on? Like, what?
That's when you know you got good mods right there. When you're like, wait, what just happened in my own chat?
Like, how did I... like, did I miss something? Okay. All right. Let's keep playing.
Y'all got this.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what keeps you so passionate? Like,
I just like video games. And I like to...
like, I don't have anything good to answer this with.
Like, it's literally, isn't it, for me, streaming is an excuse to play games.
Okay, because I can understand that, being a mom who is constantly busy. It gives you that...
you know, like I said, I have 2 little ones. You know, they're 5 and 3. They're always on the go. They don't leave me alone. I'm a homeowner. I have a husband. I like to work out. I have a full-time job. I can try and go crazy at work, so I'm doing overtime all the time. So trying to juggle all that, and if I weren't streaming, I wouldn't be playing video games. And I do enjoy gaming. So I know the time that I do stream is like really like dear to me. It's like, okay, it's like some me time. I get to play some video games. And I was like, okay.
Oddly
it's like my downtime.
I actually totally understand that concept, because for a while there, I was so busy because, you know, I work for myself. So, you know, I have to go out and do my own work. And so for a few months there, I was like so focused on whatever I was doing for Girlstreamer, so focused on, you know, whatever I was doing over here, that the only time I got a chance to play video games was if I was streaming.
Right?
Like, I totally understand that, because sometimes...
I mean, everyone has their own reasons.
I don't have time to play games outside of streaming sometimes.
Yeah.
So
most of the time I don't. I wish I could sit here for like 6 hours or 10 hours in this game, or even an hour a day would be amazing. Just even if it's offline, I don't care. But I don't have that time. Plus, I like to like watch TV shows sometimes if I can, or whatever. You know, so to juggle all that, this allows me and like almost forces me to play games and like dive really deep into the games and like love them and obsess over them. So
I love it. Yeah. I love it. Yeah. No, I actually completely understand that. Even though most of my work is being online. Look, seriously, sometimes if I didn't stream, I would not be sitting at my computer playing video games. Because I get so tired of sitting at my computer sometimes, because that's my job, is sit at my computer for like 16 hours a day. You get really tired of sitting at your computer for that long.
Yeah, so, like I work in front of my computer as well. I come back home, I deal with the kids, and then I sit at my computer, which is fine. The problem is though, my computer chair here is garbage. I need a new chair. You need mental note.
You need a chair.
Yes, yeah, I need one of those bad boys. That is what I need, because this chair is 20 years old and it's garbage. I need to stop it. To stop caressing the chair.
Seriously, no lie, like this chair has saved my back and my hip. My hip was getting to the point where I could not work out anymore. My hip was so bad.
Oh man.
Because the chair I had, you can't sit in it for more than a couple of hours. And my tailbone, oh my god. Seriously.
That's me right now. Yeah, that's totally me right now.
Best thing ever.
I need to make, I like to call it an investment on
Plus,
a good
you get that 20%
chair.
off using the Girlstreamers code, so.
Damn right you do.
Heck yeah. What am I? Oh. That's what. Okay, sorry.
It's okay.
Yes, so thank you for that. Sorry, I had Discord, like, blaring at me for a second there.
No, right, all right.
We've got plenty of time. We've still got a few more questions. Yeah, so if you guys do have questions, for the podcast, we now have a podcast form, a Q&A form.
Which is awesome, by the way.
Yeah, super awesome.
I love it.
So thank you, Carice, for doing that. If you guys are in the live portion of this chat, please fill that out. So what is your greatest challenge or obstacle that you have had to overcome in your life?
I think one of them actually is with my husband, Oni. When we were dating, we lived in different countries. I was here, he was in Barbados, and trying to make that whole relationship work. It was challenging, you know. Yeah, right. Yeah, it was. You know. Yeah, you know. I know you know. Okay. But yeah, it was.
How did you guys? First of all, because he was in Barbados, how did you guys meet?
Funny story. So when I was, oh god, I want to say 13 or so, and he was, I think, 17. Way back when, there were like actual like chat websites. I was on a chat site. I think it was called Firefly or something stupid. Anyways, I met him and his best friend, and they're the first people I met that were from Barbados that were not my family. And I was like, oh my god, there's more about this. This is so cool. And we just were friends, not a big deal, whatever. And then a few years go down the road, and my family were all flying down to Barbados. So I say, hey, I'm flying in. Do you want to meet up? We're going to be at this place at this time on this day. Show up or not, I really don't care. So they show up. And when they showed up, it was like this whole new world of like best friends like evolved from it. And we were like the best of friends for quite some time. Like we chatted every day, emails, whatever. It was just legit platonic, just friends. And then one year I flew down and I saw him and I said, I gotta marry this guy. It was like a light bulb. I'm like, I'm gonna marry him, and he has to have a choice.
I love how it happens when you're friends, and then all of a sudden it's like, you know what? I want to have sex with you. Let's get married, right?
That sums it up.
It's like, I want to have sex with you and have your babies. So let's make this deal, right?
Yeah,
like, that's
pretty much.
That's
it was literally I just saw him. I looked at him like, oh, I was like, oh my god, I have to marry this guy. I have to marry him.
I love it.
And
oh, it's so sweet. I love it.
So then I knocked him out. I married him. It was fine. It worked out.
So how long then were you guys dating before he moved to Canada?
We dated for about a year. Then we were engaged for a year. Then we got married. Dated for a year? Year and a bit. He proposed to me on Easter Sunday from my parents at Easter dinner. And then a year after that, we got married. And then a year after that, the day before our 1 year anniversary, he was able to come to Canada permanently.
Oh, wow. So you guys were actually married before he got a chance to move. How hard was that? Holy cow. How hard was that?
It was, you know what? It wasn't that bad because we had already gone through it already for a couple of years.
Yeah.
It just, all it was now is that we were like husband and wife, right? So we just kind of kept that mentality, like, you know what? We have to wait until, you know, the paperwork goes through and we get the approval. And by fluke, you got the okay to fly in on April 6th, and April 7th is our wedding anniversary. So so he was here for a 1 year anniversary. It was really cute.
What a great anniversary gift!
Right? That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So
I love it. Yeah, that's a challenge. That's an obstacle to overcome. That's because as someone who had a long distance relationship as well, although he was in the country, so we didn't have to deal with all that.
It's still tough though. Yeah, like someone has to move.
Yeah.
Someone has to uproot their life, like their home, their life, to be with their person, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And it's tough.
It is. It is really hard, and it was really hard to convince the husband, who was the boyfriend at the time, that making that big of a decision is going to be for the better, right? Because you know, he's significantly older than me, so he had 40 plus years in California. So he was comfortable. I mean, not really comfortable, but he was used to it.
That was his norm.
Right. So I understand that more than a lot of people would.
Yeah, absolutely. Long distance is not easy.
No, it is not. But communication is
so key.
It is so key.
It's your foundation, man.
In any relationship, communication is so important. And I think if you can make that long distance relationship and be patient, totally worth it in the end.
Yeah.
Totally worth it in the end.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you could give your past self 1 to 2 words of advice from the wisdom and experience that you have gained up until now, what would they be?
Don't sweat the small stuff. Like, stop overreacting over little itty bitty things. or think worst case scenario about everything. Which is like my thing. Oh my gosh. Like when I was in my 20s, I was like, oh my gosh, my life is over. I'm like, what's wrong with me? Like those were like little, like very petty, not a big deal situations.
Right?
So yeah, just don't sweat the small stuff. One thing my dad always says, and I will never forget this. We were driving past one of our hospitals in our town, and he said, you know what? You know, here we are driving past a hospital. There are people in there fighting for their lives. You know, just struggling to stay alive, and we're just driving on by. You know, life could be so much worse. And I was like, yeah, you're right. And that just stuck in my head. Life could always be worse.
Yeah.
So, right?
I had this little old man who gave me, and you know when you're overwhelmed at work and stuff and you're like, I can't get anything done, and you're at that point, like, this is the worst thing ever.
Yeah, no one talk to me or say anything or I'm like crying.
I had this similar experience in this little sweet little old man named Vernon says, do you know how, he asked me if I know how to eat an elephant, and I looked at him and I said,
what?
Yeah, that was our reaction. And he said, 1 bite at a time. And as simple as that is,
oh my god,
like, I think back to that and I'm like, you're right, you're absolutely right. I'm not gonna get all of this shit done all at once, but if I just work at it one little bit at a time, because I'm that person who will also go immediately to the worst and prepare for the worst.
Yep.
Because sometimes it happens.
Yes.
So I have to remember that it's not always going to get to that point.
Right. I totally agree.
And in order to get to the end point of where you need to go, 1 bite at a time, right?
Yeah, I like
Stupid,
that. I like that.
simple, right? But for
But
some
it works.
reason,
It works. It clicked.
sometimes it clicks. Like, you have to just hear it at the right time, I guess.
Exactly. Yep.
So
Totally.
yeah, no, I totally get it. Like, that's, yeah, I totally get it. Because I'm just like you. I think of the worst.
I'm like, oh my god, my life is over. Like, really? You just broke a nail. Calm down.
Listen, it's really bad when you are manager of something. Because you're like, well, this could happen, and this could happen, and this could happen, and this could happen. It's like,
right?
whoa, we're not going to get to that point. That's not going to happen.
You're a 12, we need you at about a 6. Just
right? Exactly. Like, we need you to come down.
Again.
Like, but we need to make sure that this doesn't happen. Well, it's not if you don't calm down. I am the person who goes to that level. So Kinky is constantly going, chill.
Calm the F down. Calm the F down.
You and I working together would not go well, I think.
No, I don't think so.
We would both be at that
You know what's funny? That's very true. Like, oh my god! You're like, that, why did we freak out for it? Everything's fine. We're good.
Like, after it's all said and done, we'd be like, wait, we freaked out way too much.
Yeah, and way too quickly.
Oh my god, yeah. So, what trait of yours are you most proud of? Your silky smooth skin.
My silky smooth skin. Oh god. I think, although I find, okay, I give decent advice. I guess people always come to me, ask me for my opinion for things, right? I don't think it's good advice,
I like
people
that
take
you
it.
do quotes. Decent.
Decent, I guess. I like to help people. Whether it's, someone has a bad day at work or has a problem with their partner and they need to vent. Now, I'm more than happy to listen and, give my small opinion, whether I've been through it or not. Sometimes, and for some reason, for the most part, people appreciate it, and that's a good feeling. Or, at work, people are stressed out. I just pass by and probably inappropriate, but I don't care. I give them like a little massage in their back, and they're like super happy. I'm like, I didn't do anything. I just rubbed your shoulders because you look super.
That's sexual harassment, Silky. You
better Damn right it is. Damn right it is.
You better stop it.
But yeah, just it's helping like people just with little things or just giving tips or advice, or even like my girlfriend at work, she was stressing out because she had to, I think they take the bus and she had no change. I'm like, here's some change. What are you stressing for? And she was like beyond relieved. I'm like, it's $2.50. You're welcome. But you know what I mean? It's just,
but you'd be surprised how much that helps somebody out, though.
Right? Someone's having a day, and they need to get somewhere, and they can't get there. Right?
Could like be what helps them pay for their groceries because they didn't have to take money out of their grocery funds, right? Oh
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I was just like, she was like, and she was having a day, and she was very stressed out, and she's like, oh my god, and like her husband couldn't pick her up for whatever reason. He was busy at work or something, and she's like, how am I gonna get home? And she was very frazzled, just after having a really bad day too, right? I'm like, here's $2.50. Take the bus. She's like, I gotta take the bus, but I don't have change, and I don't want to break a 20. I don't want, and she was going on worst case scenario basically, and I'm just like, here's $2.50. Go take the bus. And she was like, oh my god.
Your altruistic, what is that? Altruism is it's a very altruistic nature that you have there. That's a good thing to be proud of. Because not everybody is like that, Not everybody is willing to go, here's $2.50 so you can take the dang bus.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
mean...
or here, let me buy the person behind me Starbucks order. Or
done
McDonald's
that before, too.
Order.
I've done it before the whole pay it forward thing.
I knew it. I knew you were that kind of person to do that. I knew it.
Yeah, every so often, I'll be like, what did the guy order behind me? Oh, a coffee. I got it. Like, what? I'm like, it's not a big deal. It's just a coffee. I have a hot chocolate. They have a coffee. What, $4?
Right.
We're good.
Always ask, because God forbid you're like, I'm going to pay for the person behind me.
I'm not paying for the damn
have
bagel.
like 10 freaking coffees that are all specially made. And
I'm like, I'll pay for one coffee, one. I'm not paying for your bagel and your donut and your triple large hot chocolate and your mocha or whatever else you're getting.
And your mocha frap with the skinny, your mocha frap skinny latte.
Oh my God.
With a pinch of Splenda and skim milk and no whipped.
Yeah, one coffee.
I did that way too well. I need to stop. So, what is your greatest insecurity?
That I won't be liked or appreciated. That makes sense?
That does.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I don't want to be like Miss Popular, but just knowing or having that fear of like what I've done so far in my life is not appreciated, or no one's recognized it, or no one's even like.
Can you hear the wind? I'm sorry. It is super
loud.
Okay.
Is it? No. I'm like, what are you looking at?
I was like, what the hell? Like, my blinds are doing some crazy shit over here.
Oh, is it? Oh, man.
But no, it will be hot as hell if you shut the window, so leave it open. Sorry to interrupt you, but my blinds were like doing this weird, like wavy like inflatable guy thing. It was very distracting.
Yep.
But that's actually not an uncommon insecurity to have, based off of what your trait that you're proud of is, actually. Because
true.
Not that you necessarily want to please everybody, but you want everybody to be happy. But making them happy means that they will like you.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Right? So that's actually not an uncommon fear. I mean, I say this like I am, a therapist.
Yeah, we know you are. All right, we know you are. Okay.
I've gone through a lot of therapy, and I've done a lot of research. So actually, my other podcast I'm a part of is on hiatus right now, and it's a mental health podcast. So I've done a lot of research.
Yeah.
But, that's actually not an uncommon thing, and that's not surprising considering you are such a kind person.
Oh, shucks.
And it's so hard. You're one of those people, in my opinion, that it's really hard not to like. Like, you have that kind of demeanor, that attitude that people can come to you. So,
yeah.
I don't.
Which I like that, I like to be able to talk to people and approach. I'm a very extrovert, really.
Yeah, don't worry about it, girl. You good. You ain't gotta worry about it. I have spoken, and I am the end all be all. Okay, so Nymph has spoken. You're good.
And good.
I totally get it though. No, I totally get it, because I have similar issues in the fact that, I'm in the film industry, so being at these film festivals and being at these, I got access to these certain parties that I've never had access to, that had like free alcohol and free food. Like, to me, like, imposter syndrome kicked in hard, because I'm like, oh, I don't belong here. Like, I'm waiting for them to kick me out, right? Like, it's that whole...
Absolutely.
Because you feel like, okay, I shouldn't be here, right? Like, so I actually kind of understand that on a level, because it's kind of similar. So yeah, I struggle.
Yeah, I hear you. Perfect. Like, I mean, in like the past few weeks, I posted for a different position at work. Something more that I want to. That's more like communications, advertising, marketing, in my bit in the company, and my current in my department.
Like, you'd be really good for that.
Thank you. My current VP used to be in the communications department, so I was talking to a coworker of mine. She said, you should probably just email her and see if you can, like, reach out to her, have a coffee, and get her feedback and opinions on how you can potentially get into that department. And I was like, why the hell did I do that for? I don't want to ask her. I'm like, are you kidding me? She's a VP of my department. No. Just do it. Just try it. Now, keep in mind, her name is Rachel. Rachel, the VP, is like super awesome and very approachable. But there's that like professional, like, when you start asking questions, you're like, I don't know if I should step that over that line. Like, if I see her in the hallways, we'll have a conversation about our kids. Their kids play hockey, mine dance, whatever. But we've never had the like professional conversation.
Yeah.
So I'm like, dear God, is this going to be good or not? So I emailed her and said, hey, are you up for coffee one day? I'm looking to post for this position or at some point get into this department. I would love your feedback. And she's like, oh my gosh, absolutely. And she went off this huge email. It's like, check my calendar, make an appointment, we'll go for coffee, we'll chat, and da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, all right, cool. So I booked the appointment and had coffee, and we sat for almost an hour and a half and just chatted about who I should talk to kind of get my foot in the door.
That's what's up.
Right? She's like, I got your back. And she's like, you know, I can be your quote unquote mentor if you want me to. You know, you have any questions, you can ask me anything. And I'm just like, that a moment of stress just like gone, completely gone. I'm like, this is amazing. I should have done it sooner.
Women, we feel so paranoid about stepping out.
I don't know.
It's so like ingrained in us to think we don't belong in this world, right? I mean, just society says we don't belong. We're second, you know, we're secondhand citizens.
Yeah.
And then like when it comes to stuff like that, like it's so hard to go, okay, no, I do belong here. Yeah, I am gonna totally take that step and be confident and ask for that help or reach out to or whatever. It's so freaking hard.
Yeah, and I was like, and she's like, how long have you been wanting to be in this department? I'm like, since I found out that it existed. And she's like, you should have come up to me sooner. I would have been more than happy to like tell you what to do. And I'm just like, oh my God damn it.
Well,
but yeah, she's like, you know, she's like, if you have, thank you. She's like, you know, she's like, I email me whenever you want. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. We can do coffee again. I'll give you a list of names of who to talk to, where you should go. And like, she suggested that I should, we have a United Way campaign at our work. You said you should join the United Way campaign, the group there. You should join like the social committee for the entire like business. And I was like, okay, I mean, all right, hang on. Where she's like, she's like, I know you're busy, but here's what, you know, some ideas and you can take it however you want to take it. So she emailed me a list, like there's 10 names of people I can just like talk to. She said, mention my name. Say you spoke to me and you just want to chat to have an idea of what you need to do to get into the department you want to be in. I'm just like, huh.
Nice.
Right. I was like, all right. So yeah, thank you.
I feel
yeah,
like you would fit very well in that particular area, especially with how you like promote and do your Twitter stuff. Like you're very good with that. Like,
I love it.
So, have you ever been trolled?
Of course.
I mean, I'm asking that question.
I know.
We were literally trolled while we were starting the stream, and I had to ban somebody.
Oh my God! Wait, did you?
Yeah, he kept spamming the try hard emote earlier, and I was like, okay, all right, I know what you're doing. Fuck off, right? And I banned him. Because he kept spamming. Like once, okay, that's fine, but he kept spamming it, and it got more and more and more, and I was like, all right. Somebody's got to do something.
And we're done.
Yep, and we're done. Because he kept tagging you and saying your name and then putting the try hard emote. And I'm like, okay, I just recently learned what that emote is used for, and I'm not okay with that, so I'm going to ban you.
Yeah.
So asking, have you ever been trolled? Literally, the answer is yes.
Yup.
I just banned somebody.
Yup. Well, yeah, I mean, from things from people pretending to donate money to saying,
oh my God, that is, oh my God.
I mean, don't do that.
They think we're stupid? Do they think we're stupid when they do that?
I'm just like,
I don't understand the fake donation thing. It's like, obviously that's not a real donation.
Yeah. Just, I mean, come on, right? And then, what else? I mean, people. Oh, there was one that someone came into my stream. This is my part when I was first starting. No camera yet. I remember that much. And someone came in saying I sound like a man. So I was like, oh, well, thank you very much. How are you doing today? And he just kind of like just disappeared. I was like, come on now. I mean, really? Like, what, and then what else? What else happened? I mean, yeah, there's been numerous things, you know, like yeah, so the fake donations, sound like a man, I'm too black, my face looks fat, and da 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 da. I was like, I don't care. I
You
don't
look fat?
care.
No.
I'm like, I don't care.
I've been in a stream of a girl who's like maybe all of 120 pounds, and they were telling her she was fat.
I mean, seriously?
Yeah.
Come on. Like, it's, ugh, God.
I don't get it.
Yeah. And I don't know. I find it I find it laughable.
Yeah.
Or the best ones are when you're playing a game and they tell you how much you suck at the game. I'm like, yeah,
Oh
I know.
God.
I just started playing the game. Like Rocket League, I am god awful at it. And I know I'm terrible at it. I know I am. But I'll still play it once in a while. It's been a while, but I'll still play it. But when people tell you how crap you are, I'm just like, I know. What's your point? Don't watch. Get out. I don't care.
Okay, I have to pee like really bad, so I'm gonna ask you this question. I can still hear you because I have wireless headphones. I'm sorry. I know this is really great in the middle of the podcast, but anyway.
I love it.
What advice do you have for new people getting into streaming? I can hear you still.
Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to do it. Take a chance. I mean, when I started, I was complete chicken shit. But I mean, like I said, when I first started streaming, I had no audio, no camera, no nothing. And just gradually I got more comfortable doing what I was doing. And yeah, it was fantastic. And I'm very happy about it. Oh, and just join Girlstreamers. If you're a female, just do it because the community is fantastic. If you don't want to do that, keep your eye out for the insane amount of communities out there that are there to help and support you. And I mean, sometimes you might come across a community that is super, super crappy. So just leave. But like I said, if you have the chance and you want to take the opportunity to stream and you don't know where to start, check out Twitter, find some Discords, watch other streamers, get some ideas. That's how I started. Watching other streamers, I got ideas on how to better my own stream. So yeah, that's what I would do.
Oh my god, that's actually really, really great piece of advice. Because I've gotten a lot of really cool ideas that way, and I feel like I'm stealing from somebody else when I see, and I'm like, oh, like Zilla Noises had the spin wheel thing on her channel. And I was like, that's cool. I want one of those on my channel, but I didn't want to do it exactly like hers because I didn't want...
Right, you want to make it your own.
Right, I wanted to make it my own, and I didn't want to be like, oh, you stole this from Zilla, right? But there are a lot of features that you don't realize are out there without watching somebody else's stream.
Exactly.
So...
yeah, watch other streamers. I mean, that's where I got, not like got ideas, but, yeah, I've got ideas like, oh, that's a kind of a cool idea. I would love to try that one day. And, on my, like, list to do, or I've already done it, or, looking into different, other, like, bots or whatever for your own stream I think it's great. Like, the one thing I love, for example.
Sorry, I need to... Disclaimer, it's really windy and it's stormy here, so, I just noticed that stuff keeps going black on my OBS. Every so often it's just you, and then sometimes it's the entire thing. So that's what's happening. So if it does go dead, I will be back as soon as possible. If it doesn't go dead, I mean, if it doesn't go dead, great, we can finish the podcast. But just putting out that disclaimer. I'm sorry for interrupting you. Okay.
No, it's okay. I figured I was saying. What was I saying?
You were talking about cool things that you saw on people's streams.
Oh yeah, Kariz, her black and white streams. I love them. Love them.
Yeah, I love that idea.
She always plays a black and white game. She's completely in black and white. I think that is the most badassest thing. That's one of the coolest things I've seen. I'm like, that is such a cool idea. And for the record, I might steal it, but I don't know yet. I feel kind of bad.
I think that's a really cool idea too. I kind
of
want to
put
myself in like a sepia tone.
Yes, play, like, I love it so much.
Play, like a retro game and put it like in a sepia tone.
Yeah,
or something like that would be kind of cool.
I love it. Yeah, it's so cool seeing those kind of ideas and stuff.
And I love the wig thing. Like, I wish I had more wigs, to wear.
I know. I have two.
I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, and then I have a fourth one, but it's my rose quartz wig, so that shit's big. It's a little too big. I don't think it would fit in the frame, actually.
Probably
it's
not.
It's so big. It's so big. But anyway, yeah, that's a great piece of advice. And it's okay, because artists get inspiration from other artists.
Yeah.
Like, I was inspired by all of the movies I just saw at the film festival, at the Atlanta Film Festival, which is 42 years old officially, and it's one of the films that, if you are accepted, it's what's the word? It's a qualifier for the Academy Awards.
Oh wow!
Films. Yeah, so it's kind of a pretty big festival that, for some reason, not a lot of people know about. So it's and I was inspired this week by other films. I'm like, oh, I want to do that for this next film I want to work on, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
Or holy cow, I want to take that and put it into my stream. Like,
totally.
Don't be afraid to take an idea from somebody else and be inspired.
Make it your own.
Yeah, totally make it your own.
Yeah.
And also, give credit where credit is due. If you are doing something exactly like somebody else, be like, oh yeah, I saw this on somebody else's stream, so I thought it would be really cool. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Like,
yeah, give credit where credit is due.
Exactly.
Yeah. Don't do much. Simple thank you always all it takes. Simple thank you.
That's true. Yep,
yeah.
Exactly. So do you have any cool tattoos, scars, or piercings?
I have 2 tattoos.
Really?
I have one on my ankle. Yeah. Yes.
Wow. I did not know that.
I have 2. I have a little like gecko lizard on my upper inner right thigh. And then I have okay, I gotta explain this. So the Canadian flag is the maple leaf in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And the Barbados flag has like a broken trident in the middle. So I overlap them.
Okay.
Which represents, me. So I have that on like the ankle bone on the inside of my right ankle. That
cool.
thing hurt. But it was, so those are my 2 tattoos. And then my ears are pierced.
How bad did that one hurt?
Oh, it hurt. I mean,
because it went over bone. So the skin
is
a
lot. Like literally, like the ankle bone on the inside of your ankle, that's where it is.
Yeah.
Like literally on the bone. Even the tattooer is like, "Are you sure you want it on your ankle bone?" I'm like, mm-hmm. He's like, "All right, let's do this." But yeah.
That's cool. I didn't even know you had tattoos.
Surprise!
That's pretty rad. Wow, you're way cooler than I thought you were. And I already thought you were cool.
Yeah, I have that, and yeah.
If there was one person, past or present, that you could have dinner with tonight, who would it be and why? It can be fictional or non-fictional. Or they could be dead or alive.
Oh man, I mean, damn, there's a lot of people out there. I think the first person I think I'd want to have dinner with, who passed, is my aunt. She passed away a few years. Oh man, it's been 7 years now. 6? No, 5 or 6 years she's passed away from a stroke suddenly. And I've always, like, she lived in Barbados, and I've always regretted not going to her funeral. Like, to this day, I regret not going. I had just started where I am at the company I'm at now. I had just started, and I was not comfortable leaving for like, to go to the funeral. Plus, it would have cost me like $5,000 to fly down for 3 days. So I was like, I couldn't justify going, but even to this day, I have, like, that's the only, like, regret I have, is not going to her funeral to say, like, my official final, like, goodbye to her. Because she was one of my favorite aunts, and it was really, like, sudden and very unexpected that she passed away. So that's probably one person I want to have dinner with, just to do a quick little catch up, Because she would come down to visit, and I'd come home from, like, the time I was still in school, I'd come home from school, and she'd be watching Maury Povich. she's one of those she's one of those very vocal Black women who would, like, yell at television.
I love it.
Yeah, so I sit there with her and we like, and I just play into it and just yell at with the TV with her, and you're like, "What's wrong with that guy? What's wrong with her? She's so stupid. He's so foolish." And it was always so much fun. Plus, she was the only one on my mom's side who ever had kids. Like my mom has three sisters and a brother, and none of them have kids except for my one aunt that had passed away. So I was able to kind of talk to her more on a personal level because she had a son.
Yeah.
Or has a son, not had. She has a son, my cousin. So I was able to kind of talk to her more and feel more comfortable when I was growing up as a teenager. You know, I had like even like stupid little issues. I was able to talk to her and not feel judged. Where my other aunts would like legit like judge me. Like it was bad. Like made me feel very self-conscious and like very like bad about myself. So that my aunt she was my go-to all the time. So yeah, I totally very much miss her a lot. So she'd be who I want to talk to and have a like nice, lovely dinner. So yeah.
So I've got 3 more questions for you, and then we will go to the questions in the document. If you guys have not had a chance to do that, make sure to put your questions in. What is an ideal weekend for you?
Sleep. Done. Sleep.
Your mom.
What?
I mean, what else would it be?
Sleep. I want to sleep. Let me have some sleep, please. That's all I'm asking. Aside from that, jokes aside, an ideal weekend would just, I don't know, hang out with the kids, have a clean house, do something with the family, whether it's we go to the park or go to like an amusement park or go to McDonald's or whatever.
I didn't ask for an ideal life. Like, nobody's ever gonna have a clean house.
But I mean,
unless they have no kids.
No, look. All I'm asking for is 2 days of a clean house. That's it.
Look, I don't have kids, and my house is not even. I hate it.
That's what I want. Just 2 days. 2 days. I want just no mess, no dishes, no food on the floor, no toys everywhere, stepping on crumbs. I'm like, what? Who ate crackers and why did no one tell me there's crackers on the floor? Like I vacuum almost daily because now granted I have I get 2 kids, you know. And when they eat crackers, they eat it like mice. So they're like I'm like there's crumbs everywhere. I'm like, how do you put the cracker in your mouth? Put it in your mouth. Nope, you just
I'm like, funny. I have dogs and they sound very similar to your children. Like they have a basket of toys. I have yet to be able to teach them to put the toys in the basket, but they have no problem getting them out of the basket.
Oh man. Yeah,
and you can't walk anywhere without seeing there's dog toys all over my house.
Oh god.
They don't stay in the basket.
Oh man.
I don't know that I really want kids right now.
You got 2 fur babies, right?
Yeah, we have 2.
Yeah, 2 fur babies.
Fur babies. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, I can at least put mine in a crate when I have to go somewhere. You'd get in trouble if you did that.
Touche. Speaking of which, I think my daughter's awake. Napa, come here, sweetie. Come here. Yeah, she's got like crazy dry skin. It keeps her up at night. So.
Oh. Still?
Yeah, it is.
That's
yeah,
bad.
still going.
She clearly didn't get that from you.
No, but she got it from one of my aunts, though. Apparently, I think one of my mom's sisters. She has really bad skin too, and I think that's probably who she got it from, which really sucks. Yeah, I feel so bad. Is it just dry skin,
or is it also psoriasis or eczema?
No psoriasis, eczema for sure, and the dry skin they call it ichthyosis vulgaris, and it's like her skin looks like fish scales, and it's dry, and it just can't retain water, right? No matter how much like water she drinks, it just won't retain water. So,
Jesus,
yeah,
that's awful.
I feel really bad for her. So we just actually saw a dermatologist on Friday, so we're hoping to have we're going to try something new. Hopefully this will help, but we'll see.
Oh my god, that's awful. I have psoriasis, so
yes, I remember you telling me that.
I can understand the dry skin issue. Oh, poor thing.
Yeah,
that's awful.
Right? And she's so little, she doesn't understand not to scratch, and I'm just like, oh man. Yeah, so.
So what are you most thankful for?
My babies. My babies. I mean, you've seen them. Those so cute.
They're my babies. Adorable, and they look just like you.
Good. I mean, thanks.
Oh,
no, anyways, Yeah, I mean, like my daughter, she was premature, so she was quite a scare when she was born. Had her at 27 weeks, and she was a pound 15 ounces. So seeing where she was to where she is now is just amazing. And then my son, he didn't want to get out, so I had to rip him out of me. So I mean, hey, but yeah, those things. Oh, hang on a second, hang on, honey, where are you? What's wrong? You want to sleep in mommy's bed? Taste? Go on mommy's bed then, honey baby. Go on. I'll be right there. Okay. Okay. You want to know why she's awake? Here's why she's awake. She put her fingers in her mouth. It still tastes terrible.
Oh, because you did the.
Sorry, I shouldn't be laughing. Yes.
Okay, for those of you that don't know what she's talking about, in the pre-show discussion, Silky put some. I like that I'm having to tell this because you're over there laughing so hard. Silky put some stuff on her kids' fingers to stop them from biting their nails, and apparently it tastes awful.
Right. So I didn't think it would taste that bad, but then it got into my mouth, and it is. I don't want to lick my lips because I know it's still there. It's awful. It is awful. So my daughter's away because she tried to bite her nails again, and now she's up because it tastes awful. So I'm making her try to put her in my bed, but she's not. You can probably hear in the background. And I can't get Owen's attention. I think he's gaming right now.
Yeah, he clearly didn't hear your burn earlier.
No, he did not.
He didn't respond in chat.
Love it.
So, all right, this is my last question for you. What is your strongest passion outside of streaming?
I like going to the gym. I like dancing. I got it. Making flyers and crap on Photoshop. I love working in Photoshop. I know. It's so mundane, but I love making things and seeing my creations. Don't judge me.
I love it.
Don't you judge me.
No,
But
I'm not judging you. I love
don't you judge me. I know. But yeah, that's my thing, man. I don't know. I do like working out a lot though. I do work out on a good week 7 times in the week. If it's a good week, I work out on my lunches, and I go to the gym after work on twice a week, and I do kickboxing, and I run once a week as well. So as you can tell, I like to do that kind of stuff.
Nice. Okay,
Yeah.
So I have questions for you. I don't know who they're from because they don't actually say. Oh, okay. Here we go. I do have. I've got the. All right. Perfect. So I had to look this up because I didn't see who asked it first, and I wanted to make sure it wasn't a racial slur before I asked it. But now I figured out how I can, because this happened while we were in the middle. Like Carissa made this while we were in the middle of the thing, because I'm not a Final Fantasy person. I legit thought this was a racial slur. If there was a real life chocobo at your door, would you let them in?
Yes, absolutely. Well, there's a big one. So chocobos, the birds. They're in Final Fantasy 14. I
legit looked it up first because I never heard the term, and I'm like, I'm not asking this question if this is racial.
That is so epic. I love it. And yes, 100%. I would have food ready for it, and I'd find some greens for it, and I'd feed it. And yes. What kind of question? Of course I would. I would cook that only for him. What do you mean?
Alright, so Kinky says, so you like Final Fantasy or nah?
You know, I can't. No, you know what? Forget it. Nope. Pink, you and I need to talk.
So, Mr. Keys ask. I actually really like having this podcast Q&A because people
This
will
is
think
so
of
great.
questions. They'll think of questions while we're talking, and so, you know, I don't have to.
You don't
they
miss
don't
them
have
either,
to.
right?
Yeah, I won't miss them and stuff, and this makes it actually go a lot faster because I don't have to wait. So Mr. Keys asked, "Do you play a musical instrument?"
No, I don't. I used to. I used to play piano, organ, and violin, and then I stopped. But I wish if I were to go back and play an instrument, I think I'd play the violin again. I loved it. It was a lot of fun.
I
Yeah.
didn't even know that you played an instrument at all in your past. That's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Very
started
nice.
with the piano / organ because I went to church all the time. So my mom really wanted me to learn the organ and play it. And then I started elementary school and high school, and I picked up the violin. So I played that for about 6-7 years.
Nice.
And yeah, it was fun.
That's cool. That's really cool. You should pick it back up.
I think
Start
I will
playing again.
one of these days.
You can stream
But yeah, not anytime soon. But yeah, I will once it doesn't sound like I'm going to like kill somebody
it. It sounds like
by
dying
blowing their
cat.
eardrums out.
like a dying cat.
Yeah.
People learning the violin sound like a dying cat when they're playing. They do.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You're like, yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
So Kinky asked, "Is it hard to
Oh no. After that last question, I'm not gonna answer questions. No, I'm just joking. Go ahead.
This is hilarious, and I'm gonna ask it because this is just freaking hilarious. Okay, is it hard to contain both yours and Lord Oni's personalities in one space?
Oh my god. Of course not. Can I take out the whole room? What do you mean? I take out the whole room and just shove him down the corner.
Wow, Kinky. Wow.
Oh my god, can you kill me?
Wow, Kinky. Wow. That's just... I love that Lord Oni is nowhere to be found right now either.
Because he's dealing with our daughter right now, so he's upstairs.
Oh, is he now? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. Pixel Dot ask, "What is your greatest fear when it comes to streaming and or gaming?" That's a good question. I like it.
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. There's gotta be something. I don't know, my shirt falling off? I don't know.
I mean, why would your shirt fall off?
I don't know. What if I'm wearing like a tube top or something?
I mean, that is a legitimate fear if you're wearing a tube top, but...
I don't wear tube tops, but I'm just saying, what if?
It's a good question, though. No, don't apologize for the question. It's a good question.
Oh, no, don't. I think a good fear would be if I got trolled and the troll was like, it really stung, like they insulted like my kids or my family. Or, for example, there's a streamer named Scarface. A troll came in, but knew all this family's information, like phone numbers, address.
Oh shit! I missed
everything.
That. Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
That's my fear right there. Yeah.
That is
terrifying. Someone's digging me down and find out exactly where I live, like my address, phone number, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that would be a big fear of mine.
I had no idea that happened. When did that happen?
Oh, a few months ago now. He completely went off stream for a while to get all that sorted out, and I think he's good now. I think he got everything care of and more security for his IP address and everything. But
poor face.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It was scary.
Kinky
great. Yeah, they sent food to his house. Yeah.
Holy cow.
That is terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And VPNs.
So
he had to get a VPN. VPNs are not easy to.
Yeah, that is.
I've
I remember. Yeah,
that's in the past, and I personally hate it. I get it's great for security measures, but I hate working in VPNs because it slows everything down so much. Oh my god, that is freaking creepy.
Yeah, that right there, that would be my biggest fear for sure. Imagine being on stream and someone just saying, "I know where you live," be like, "Ha ha ha," and then he gives you, no, Nope.
Well, see, my
Nope.
phone number is out there because of work, so
Well, yeah.
which is really scary. But I mean, yeah, my phone number is not really difficult to find because it's on my demo reel for the film industry. So
Right.
it's really not freaking hard to find mine. Don't go looking for my stuff though.
I was like,
yeah,
trying to find it.
So lobster, I don't. This is not a grammatically correct sentence, so I'm not sure what you're asking here, Miss Lobster. I'm sorry. It says favorite classes game you would again and why? Like I don't. I think she's asking what's your favorite class in a game.
Maybe she doesn't know what favorite class in Final Fantasy is. Probably. I'm winging it. I'm gonna wing it and say that. And if it is, it's definitely Arcanist or Summoner.
Okay.
I know you have, yeah. Which are all magic wielding, so I like magic.
And I've got one more question on this podcast on the Q&A responses. Music Chick ask. Sorry, I just had a I was trying not to have it be super loud.
Were you trying to suppress it?
I was trying to suppress it, and it came out in like 2 weird burps. So Music Chick, hey, hashtag women fart and burp. Music Chick asked, do you find it hard to balance your relationship having a partner that streams also? How do you achieve that balance? That's a good question.
That's a good question. Some days are tough, but because Oni streams way more than I do, because apparently, that's how it is, which is fine. But we both try to stream.
You didn't sound a little resentful there at all.
What? Whatever do you mean? It's fine. Everything's fine. It's fine. No, but we both do try and stream once the kids go to bed. Because once they're in bed, sometimes we play games together. Like, we both play Final Fantasy, so we can play together online. Mm-hmm. He's been on my case for years now to play Warframe. I just, I think he's streaming right now as we speak. So, I mean, and we do try and make at least once a week, like a time just for us to kind of hang out, whether we watch TV or play a game together or, just go to the mall and just walk around or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like, as long as we have some sort of time together, even like if it's like a drive to get something, like to buy food, whatever, we try and make some sort of like time for each other, right? Or we would just fall apart, so.
I think that's so ideal too, because it's really easy. Like,
time out. I lick my lips. Wait. Oh God. I lick my lips. It's still there.
You tasted it. No, why?
Oh, that's so bad. Sorry, come on.
Wow.
Oh my God. My poor kids.
Oh my gosh. That's awful.
Sorry, continue.
That's like my dog when he farts and makes me gag. It was so bad the other day while I was streaming. Like, I almost vomited on stream. It was so
my
bad.
God.
It's so gross.
Gross.
What was I gonna say? I got so distracted by dog farts. Jesus. All right, Chicklet asks, what's your favorite food and why?
Probably pasta.
Oh,
with a meat sauce.
Pasta
Probably.
And meat sauce.
Yeah, or my dad's cooking. My dad's a really good cook.
My dad is a good cook too. What the hell? Do we have the same dad?
Maybe.
Like, what's up with this? Like,
maybe they were twins in a past life, and now they're like.
You're not light enough to be my sister.
You never know. Things happen.
I mean, you're right. That's true. You're right.
Yeah. Or my dad's cooking. My dad's a great cook. Like classic, like island food, like rice and peas, like jerk chicken, curry goat. Oh God, the curry goat, right? So all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Oh, I'm coming to visit you
Or pasta.
just to taste your dad's cooking.
He loves it. Yeah, he loves to cook.
Oh man, I love food from other cultures. I am
Right?
the biggest.
Same.
I am such a big foodie. I love tasting, like when we go to TwitchCon, like Kink Nightmare and I legit have chosen a day that we're going to drive to San Francisco and just try a bunch of food. Like that's our goal. Like that's what we plan on doing. Like we legit
kind of hate you.
See,
That's
you
awesome.
need to come to TwitchCon.
Shh, I know. I know.
Oh man. All right, so we actually need to wrap this up. We are at a minute left, so we need to wrap this up. Thank you guys for all the awesome questions. Where and when can we find you streaming?
Where? Well, I stream every Wednesday and Thursday evening from 8:30 until usually 11:30, 12 Eastern time, depending on my night. Sometimes a little bit later, sometimes a little bit sooner because it's late and I gotta get up at 5:30 in the morning. So depends how my day goes. But yeah, definitely 8:30 start time, Wednesday, Thursdays, Eastern time.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah. And I am on Twitter, I am on Snapchat, I am on Instagram, I'm obviously on Twitch, Tumblr, kind of everywhere. Google Plus.
Yeah, my Tumblr is basically what my Instagram is. Like I just, share it on all of my platforms whenever I Instagram.
Yeah. Same.
So Tumblr isn't really, I'm not super active on Tumblr.
Hence a Tumblr. It's there. I have an account.
Thank you so much. This has been a lovely conversation.
Right? So much fun.
Quite enjoyed it. I'm glad that you finally
Me too.
joined us.
Kind of long overdue, I think.
Yes, I quite agree. So guys, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Silky, for being a part of this awesome podcast. This has been a Girlstreamers podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Girlstreamers is partnered with Loot Crate, Fresh Designs, Punk's Paracord, Simple Jerky, UN Racing Chairs, Glom Tom, and Sennheiser. Links to all these amazing partners are down below, so please feel free to click. Thanks, guys, for all your support. Please follow us at Girlstreamers on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and Instagram, and player.me. If you have any questions or would like more information, you can visit our website at girlstreamers.com and contact us through there. You can